teacher Amy. I'm so happy to have you here. We met in Instagram, and I was really interested in your story, learning English. And so today we're going to talk about your how you learned, and we're also going to talk about accents, and we're also going to talk about anxiety because we've talked a little bit about that too. So welcome, Toty.
Yeah, welcome. Nice to see you.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm from HelloTalk. Yeah.
So first of all, just tell us, where are you from and what do you do? Kind of that basic information.
Yeah, I'm from Egypt and I'm living in Tanta. Actually, it's kind of like in the north of Egypt. Um, yeah, I'm studying English literature and translations. I'm on my second year in college.
Okay. So are you studying? What do you want to do with that? What are your, what do you want to do in the future with that?
Actually, I'm hoping to be a translator, but actually, I like active translation. It's not like translating on paper and like this. No, I like to translate in meetings, like
Oh,
this
interpreter? You're
like
talking
this.
about being an interpreter?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, nice. So like in business meetings, maybe?
Yes, in business meeting, maybe tourist for tourists, be like a tour guide. And, yeah, like this.
Nice. That's awesome. That's so hard.
Yeah. But I feel it cool. I really enjoy it, and I enjoy using my English, not just on paper.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've looked at the idea when I was trying to decide right before I became an English teacher. I was trying to decide what to do, and I had just learned Spanish. And so I looked at becoming a medical interpreter, like someone who interprets for people in the hospital when they're sick. Um, and the more I looked at it, the more I got so nervous and stressed out about that idea. It seems really intense. Like there's a lot of pressure on you. So I applaud you.
Yeah, actually, because it needs social skills too, not just English. So yeah, that's why it's a bit hard.
Yeah, because you're not just interpreting the words, right? You have to interpret the meaning or the some of the feeling behind it.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, I didn't think about that. That's so true. You don't want them to get mad at you. You to be the person in the middle.
Yes.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your journey learning English. Because your English is wonderful. So tell me what you did, what that process was like.
Okay. I started learning English since I was in a school. I was a kid, so I started learning English, but it was like educational English. So we didn't have a correct pronunciation or accent or, expressions, idiom, things that really used in daily life. So I just finished high school having a good pacing grammar. So I started after this before entering college, or like, there was a month, it was at the beginning of the college too. I was working on my English like seriously 24 hours a day.
Oh my
I
gosh.
didn't want to waste any time without practicing and learning to develop my English. But I enjoy it. Don't just pressure yourself. I was enjoying this. So yeah, I started when I wake up while having my breakfast, I was like listening to teaching English video and everything I learned, or sometimes something cool that I did is I was like creating a dialogue in my mind with the expression that I learned. For example, this helped me a lot to make it in my mind without forgetting. So this was
Nice.
something.
So where did you get those expressions? You said teachers on YouTube. Did you get that?
Yeah.
Did you listen to music? Did you watch movies? What kind of media were you using for those?
It was 2 YouTube channels. I don't know if I'm able to say its names.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, go ahead.
there were one called English Learn English with TV series, and the
Ah,
other was Rachel English. These two
mm,
were amazing. Actually, they helped me a lot to gain everything.
nice. That's awesome. So you got a lot more from those YouTube channels than you did from your textbook or from school.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I have found that too, where, I get so impatient with books and um yeah, it's really hard to learn expressions without hearing them, like you said. And we were talking about one thing I wanted to talk about with you, as you mentioned, was your accent because it's really, really good. And of course, all accents are good. I'm not saying that all accents are good,
Yeah.
but it's very close to a North American accent. And I get questions all the time about that. People are always asking me that. So I want to hear from you. You mentioned stopping a video, right? Stopping the
Imitation.
videos. So, yeah, tell us more about what you did because it seems like it worked.
Yeah, for accent, as I said, I was stopping the video and imitate all the time. This is the main thing. And actually practicing, I was practicing like from, an hour to 4 hours a day. I really
Oh
practice a
my
lot.
gosh.
So, yeah, so this also helps a lot. And something sounds kind of crazy. I was like, even if I'm doing anything in the kitchen, I was like talking to myself in English, creating any dialogue, or talking about any topic just randomly like this all the time. So sometimes when someone came and just noticed that I'm talking to myself and they say, "Oh my God, you talk to yourself." I said, "Yeah, I'm trying to develop my English."
Practicing my English. Leave me alone. Back off. That's so good because the other question that people ask me a lot, and I say a similar thing, people are always asking me about how do I practice my English if there's no one to talk to, if there are no natives to talk to.
Yeah,
So,
I was
yeah.
talking to myself all the time. I never stopped talking. Whatever if it was myself was or was my with a friend, I never stopped.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
that's
this is
awesome.
actually practicing is the main thing.
Yeah, so imitation, that's just the key, right?
Yes, imitation and practicing. You need to use your language all the time. Use your tongue.
That thank you for saying that. I recently showed a video to my class, my in-person English class, and it was a like an MRI of someone's face while they were talking. And maybe I'll link it in the description for people, but it's like you can see how big the tongue is. It's like this huge muscle in there. And so to think that it will just do whatever we want, it will just have a perfect American, accent as soon as we want it to is just silly because you have to work that big muscle, just like your bicep, right? So that's great advice. Um,
Especially to pronounce the letter R. This was so hard at the beginning.
oh, that
The
was
R.
hard. And
Yeah.
so I know that Egyptian Arabic is a lot different than, I mean, I know there are a lot of different types of Arabic.
Yeah.
Um, so that sound does not exist.
Yes. Yeah. It doesn't exist in Arabic.
Oh, it does, but there is a sound, right?
Or yeah, just R. Reh.
Okay.
Yeah. Just like this.
Actually, I wanted to show you, and maybe this is silly, but today in class, there was a student who was helping teach me the Arabic alphabet.
Yeah. Nice.
And so he
So
went
you
through all of
started
those
learning
sounds.
Arabic?
Yeah. This is his. This is what his looks like.
Yeah.
And mine looks like, let me see. This is what mine looks like.
Yeah, it's just all at the beginning. That's nice.
Yeah, it was so fun though. It was really fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, the other thing I wanted to talk to you about was the anxiety thing, if you're comfortable, because
Yeah.
we were talking on Instagram about how both of us get really nervous,
Yeah.
um, especially about speaking another language. Um,
Mhm.
and I did a video about that recently where I talked all about like what I did to get over that, to overcome it, to do it anyway. But yeah, do you mind sharing a little bit about that? What made you? What is it that has made you nervous, and what are some things that have helped?
Yeah. Okay. First, I think that anxiety just come because we are afraid of being judged. So that leads us to be like, want to be perfect from the first time, and you start like, I'm afraid of making mistakes, what they are gonna say, and it's like this. So the idea of mind and thoughts. So I just started to talk to myself. Yeah.
Mhm.
Before at the beginning, when I started a conversation with someone, I was after introducing myself, I was just saying like, excuse me, I'm so nervous. Hope that you can understand this, and this is stuff. So I just noticed that these things just made me more nervous. So I started
Yeah.
instead talking to myself before starting any conversation, and just say it's totally fine to be anxious, and maybe the other partner, your partner is nervous too, but it just doesn't show it. Yeah, so it's okay, and it's okay to make mistakes, because you need to make mistakes to learn. I was just talking to myself. And also another tip, I just learned it from psychology, because I like to read in psychology.
Yes.
It was yeah, it was to just think about the worst result that can happen, and try to deal with this and accept it. And once you accept it, you're gonna be more calm and more relaxed to do anything, because you're not afraid from the results.
Yeah, that is a great tip. I love psychology too. And partly because I've had some mental health, issues like anxiety. And so that is something that really, really helps because as soon as you ask, what is the worst that can happen? If you don't actually ask that, what happens is something that doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm never going to speak again, or I don't know, I'm going to fall into a dark pit,
Oh,
something that
exactly.
doesn't
That's
make
how
sense.
our mind cheat us. That's how our mind cheat us.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah.
And so to say, what's the worst that will happen if I mess this up? They'll say, I don't understand you and walk away.
Hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. And like you said, speaking to yourself, that's great. What was the other one you said? Speaking to yourself? Asking the worst. What was the other one you said?
Just force yourself to do it until you're comfortable with it, because when you just wait that you're comfortable to start, you will never start. So just try. Yeah, at the beginning you will be so anxious, but one after the time, you'll start be more comfortable, and it's okay for you. And these tips are not gonna make an anxiety just disappear just like this, but it's I can promise that gradually it will decrease. Another thing helped me to increase my vocab is that anywhere when I'm sitting, I just look around me and call everything in English. And when there's something that I don't know its name, I just Google it, and after that I never forget it. And this really helped out to increase my vocab.
Oh my gosh, I want to try that. I'm going to take that, steal that tip because I haven't thought of that. I used to,
Yeah.
when I was first learning Spanish, I would take post-it notes, like little sticky notes, and I would put the Spanish word on items around my house. Um, I was living with my in-laws then, so I don't know if they loved that habit, but we're like pared, like you would just put a little note on it in the language, but I've never thought of doing that where I'm sitting, okay, now I'm just going to
Yeah,
name things.
this is amazing.
I'm going to steal that. I love it. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Toty, for coming. That was a great conversation, and you had some really fantastic tips. I'm so glad that we met on Instagram, and I can't wait to hear about what you do after you graduate. How long until you graduate?
2 years.
2 years. Okay. So you're at the halfway
Yeah,
halfway. Okay. Well, okay, so good luck. Thank you.
Thank you. I was so glad to be with you. Thank you.
Yes, of course.